As you may hear during this video, I am recovering from a cold. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. It was just a couple days in bed and I'm pretty much on the mend now. And this weekend reminded me of what a lot of people who I personally know have to deal with in terms of getting sick and still having to work. Now, in South Africa, every employee is entitled to get paid sick leave. You get a certain number of days every couple of years cycle. So if you're sick and you bring a doctor's letter or whatever, you get paid still for those days that you miss work. Well, you should. But people are so desperate these days that if the boss says to them, well, if you don't come to work, then you're not going to get paid, then there's so few jobs available and the opportunities that are around for the average person are so low that people are scrambling to just take whatever they can get. People are compromising their health to try and earn some kind of small living. And this isn't for good paying jobs. This is for like entry level jobs. This is for jobs that cover half of your monthly living expenses, maybe if you're lucky. So people are super desperate, and employers, some employers at least, are taking advantage of this by essentially stripping people of their rights to things like paid sick leave, where now people are going to work even though they're sick. So if you get a cold that should take you 2 days to recover, now is going to take you a whole week because you had to spend that entire time that you were sick working. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to pay your bills at the end of the month. And this is something that is so totally not okay. This is so fucked up. Why would you want to do that to someone? Why would you want to take away someone's ability to rest and recover and look after themselves? Because now apparently you own them, because apparently without them then you're going to make less money and that's going to affect your bottom line or be inconvenient to you. And this is the reality. This is how people feel about these situations. When they're in that situation where they don't want to give someone sick leave, paid sick leave, then it's like there's an entirely different dynamic going on here. It's not a dynamic of you and I are equals and we're working together to accomplish a specific goal of this business. It's, I pay your salary, therefore I own you. And various other variations of the screwed up dynamic. And what I've noticed with the people who have bosses like this, I think the things they complain the most about is that their boss doesn't care about them, their boss doesn't consider them, their boss treats them like dirt, their boss expects unreasonable things from them. It's a very unhealthy relationship dynamic by any standard. But because money is involved, people put up with it. We are putting our health at risk. We are compromising ourselves to try and survive. I mean, how many people are working 2 or 3 jobs just to earn a living, just to make enough to get through the month, to put food on the table, to have a roof over their heads? How many people don't even have that option, don't even have the opportunities around? There are people here in South Africa, you meet people on the street and they say, I don't have work, I can't find work. There's nothing. No one will hire, there's no one hiring. And it's like if you do find a job, like, yeah, I have a job, but the pay is terrible and they don't give me sick leave. And then, yes, sure, there are a few people who are lucky enough to have decent jobs that at least covers their living costs and maybe a little bit extra. And those people are working themselves to the bone, just trying to meet the bare minimum. And that is not okay. And this is not a reflection of a broken system as much as it is a reflection of us who are broken, because we're the ones who make the system. We're the ones who enforce the system. We're the ones who continue to manifest its existence every single day, day in and day out. We're the ones who are the bosses, and we're the employees. We're feeding the machine. We're feeding the beast. So, excuse me. This is not a reflection of how screwed up the world is. This is a reflection of how screwed up humanity is, how screwed up we are. Because we have made this. We are the ones who are participating in it. Now, obviously, I can't just say one day, oh, you know what, I'm going to change the whole world. I'm going to change how everyone sees things. I'm going to change the whole system. Unfortunately, things don't work that way. But what I can do is say, there is a problem here. I do not accept treating another person as an inferior individual. I do not accept behaving in this way towards people. I do not accept having these thoughts about other people. I'm going to change my relationship to other people, and I'm going to be an example of how we can be better. I'm going to share my journey of, okay, I had this particular issue where I was having these thoughts about this person, and this is how I changed it. This is how I did better. This is how I stopped those thoughts. And now I have a better relationship with that person. But also, I can be proud of myself for how I deal with conflicts with them, as opposed to in the past where I would demean and diminish them and become controlling and make them feel powerless. I don't do that anymore. That's how I can make a difference. And I think that each one of us can make a difference in that way, because it doesn't take anything more than what is right here. It doesn't take more than me. That's all I need to change these things. This is something that I have absolute control over. Me, who I am, what I think, what I say, how I treat people. And it's that change of each one of us treating each other differently, treating each other better, giving each other that which we would like to have. I would like to have a good life, and you know what? I want every single other person to have a good life, regardless of what their skin color is, where they were born, what their religion is. I want every single person to have what they need, to have a home, to have food, health care, to have an outlet to express themselves in a way that brings meaning to them. These are the things that I think that every single person is entitled to, regardless of whether or not they have money or any other circumstances of their birth or of their making. And these are things that, if I believe that certain people do not deserve these things, then that's what I'm going to live, and that's what I'm going to keep creating, an unequal system where certain people don't get these things because they don't meet my special criteria of, these are the things that make someone deserve a good life, and this is what makes someone worthy. You must have these things and say these kinds of words and act in this way, and and if you do all of these things, then you can have a good life. That's okay with me. And that's what we've been doing. That's how we create the world, by creating our beliefs and by projecting them onto the world around us. So that's where we can change our thoughts, our beliefs, who we are, how we speak, how we live. And one by one, with the equality equation of 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 eventually equals 100, 1,000, 100,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000. So that's how we can change. Thank you very much for watching. You're going to see me next time.